We want to begin with it being 19 years since the disappearance of Jennifer Kesse. She's been missing since January 24th of 2006, last seen at her apartment complex here in Orlando. Investigators have said they don't have a whole lot of evidence in this case. We know we've seen the security video of a man sitting on her car. We know the family has spent thousands of dollars to get the case files from Orlando police in this investigation. And the Kesse family says people are still reaching out with leads and they're not giving up. And joining us live this morning via Zoom from their home in Bradenton is Drew Kesse, who is Jennifer's father. And Drew, we appreciate you joining us on Fox 35 News Plus.
Good morning. Thank you.
Drew, the first question I have for you, it's been 19 years now. I'd imagine this is a tough day. What is this day like for you and your family, and how has this day changed for you over these years?
Second part first, it has actually gotten more difficult. Years don't solve all the wounds and heal all the wounds. That's a fallacy in our mind because it never leaves you. It's just, I don't know, 19 years is a very long time. And we try and cope with it the best we can. Some days are good, some days are not. It's just something that we have to live with, but we're strong people and, we compartmentalize a lot of times, but Jennifer is always with us. And then you have to go on with your regular life to just simply exist, which is hard enough. So it's difficult.
What do you remember most about Jennifer?
Her smile, her intelligence, her love, everything about Jennifer. She was not a problem child. She was always just willing to share. She was bright and happy. She was very well educated, which she did herself. She had friends galore, and honestly, she just brought smiles to people's faces, and everyone that knew her misses her dearly, and we're not going to stop looking for her.
Can you take us back to that day 19 years ago, and when you first got the news about what happened and kind of what was going through your mind at that time?
Yeah, sure. Both Joyce, Jennifer's mom, and we were at work. I worked out of my home, and Jennifer worked for Central Florida Investments, Westgate Resorts, and that's a friend of mine works there. And he had given me a call literally an hour into the workday saying, hey, Jennifer had a meeting. She didn't show up. Do you know where she is? It's very unlike her. And I said, well, no, we live 2 hours away, but I'll give her a call. She'll always pick my phone call up. So I hung up with him, called Jennifer. And for the first time since we gave her her phone at 15, she did not answer. It went directly to voicemail. And from that second on, I personally knew something was wrong. And collected Jennifer's mom, and we headed to Orlando an hour and a half after her not making it to work. And 4 hours later, we had police on scene, Orlando Police Department, which the first response was, well, she had a fight with her boyfriend, she'll be back. And they walked out. And that is when Jennifer lost, honestly. So that's how we started this. Out of nowhere.
19 years later now, why do you think there are still no answers in this?
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know if I can answer that. My only logic that I can use is that Jennifer was trafficked by someone who was not from the country, not from the state, not from the city. No one knew who that person was very good at what he or she did, or a group of them did, and whisked her out of the country quite quickly by means that are not trackable. It was not necessarily for Jennifer Kesse, but probably for a woman. And she probably got pointed out as payment, as something that there's the one to take. And unfortunately, the safest person we knew, Jennifer, was taken. So I would say that anyone would be able to be taken in this world if Jennifer was taken, to be quite honest.
How hard is it, Drew, to think through those scenarios? I'm sure through the years you've gone through so many different scenarios in your head. How difficult is that, not knowing?
It destroys your mind. We're not right anymore. We don't have the thinking processes that we used to have. It destroys you. The anxiety and the depression. It's constant. You can't get away from it when you know that another human being physically took your daughter against her will, and for 19 years, we don't have a clue, and no one else does either, of where she is. Lucky I'm breathing. We are lucky we are breathing.
We know you've gotten the case files, you've worked with a private investigator. Where do things stand on your end?
Well, our team of investigators, we had a team of about 13 of them, as well as our legal team. They did a fantastic job. They had the files for about 2 years, and they developed an entire game plan, and it came down to actionable items that actual law enforcement has to do. And that's when, at the point 2 years ago, last November, two Novembers ago, we reached out to the AG and we said, hey, we want Jennifer's case out of Orlando and FDLE to take it in, Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And through some talks and negotiations, we were able to do that. So for the last 2 years, Florida Department of Law Enforcement has had Jennifer's case. And this past year, it seems as though everything has been every resource is starting to be put towards trying to find Jennifer, or what happened to Jennifer, through Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And we do know, they're not telling us much, but we know that they are extremely active right now, and they have been for about the last year. Because we get calls from everyone that they're interviewing left and right as soon as they speak to them. We do know that all the evidence has been put back in for DNA and everything just to be looked at again. So it is Jennifer's time. It seems like the resources are there. Hopefully the knowledgeable people that are leading the investigation in FDLE are good enough to finally crack the case. We just don't even have a direction yet. And that's hard to swallow too.
Does that give you hope or confidence even that you'll get the answers that you're seeking at some point?
My hope through FDLE, I don't want to say that they're last hope, but they're pretty much almost the last hope. We hope to either find a direction that we can build on, or to say, hey, guess what? Jennifer is gone. I don't think that she's ever going to be found until someone literally digs her up or walks on top of her, as so many long-term missing happens. But I think Jennifer has a very good chance of at least getting a feel of what happened. But again, it's going to take a long time because honestly, we're talking about government work, and the wheels of government work slowly. And we just have to go with the pace of which they work at.
What would that mean to you to get some answers after all these years?
All we want is to know where Jennifer is, dead or alive. We just want to know that our daughter has been found. That's all we're looking for. I'm not interested. I don't think Joyce is interested in anything else other than just simply knowing that we have recovered our daughter in some way, shape, manner, or form. And then, honestly, we'll go away. We'll walk away. But until that point, there is no quit. There is no walking away. She's us. We created her, so we love her unconditionally, and we will not stop.
Do you think she could still be alive?
Depends on who you ask in the family. I think that we taught Jennifer at a very young age to fight. Joyce and I were held up at gunpoint in our home before we had children, and we knew from that point on, we had to be safe. And that's why I say Jennifer was the safest person that we knew, because we taught her. But I don't think she's with us anymore. I think her mom believes that there's an absolute possibility that she is still with us. And you'd have to ask her brother, Logan. I really don't know where he sits on that.
Jennifer was 24 years old when she was last seen. Do you ever think about the life she should be living or would be living today, and what that would be like?
Sure. I'm a grandfather now, and I think I would have been a grandfather before I was made a grandfather, in the way it happened. I think Jennifer was probably being close to getting engaged to her then boyfriend. So yeah, we look at what Jennifer missed out on in she had her whole life in front of her in reality. I mean, she was just a couple of years out of college. She just got into a job that she loved, into a home that she was getting used to and liked. So she was on the trajectory going up in life, and it was very much cut short. So you have to think of that. We had 24 years with Jennifer. That's a lot of life, a lot of living. We brought her up, so we knew who we had there. And Jennifer is someone extremely special, as every child is. And yeah, sure we do, all the time, every day.
Last thing I'll ask you here, Drew, if someone out there knows something, what is your message to them?
Just reach out. Just let us know. We're not here to. I'm not here to do anything about it other than to get Jennifer back. Just to know that we have her recovered, as I said. So go to the police if you feel comfortable. Go to a lawyer. Go to your clergy. Go to you folks. It doesn't matter. We don't have to know who you are. We just need a direction or where, or someone who does know. And those people exist. They do exist in this world. And I don't know why, after 19 years, someone hasn't had the heart to step forward. But please believe me, lives have been ruined, lives have been destroyed. And it's just time for Jennifer's sake, for no one else but Jennifer's sake, for her to come to light and be found. So we can just move on and move on with life.
All right. Drew Kesse, father of Jennifer Kesse, we appreciate you joining us this morning here on Fox 35 News Plus. A difficult day, I know, and we appreciate you speaking with us.
We thank you, and we do thank everyone in the public. They have been invaluable to us, and please don't stop. Please don't stop what you're doing. Thank you.